mercy.
You know, anybody else got any requests? Anything you want to see explained or what?
Love to hear a story.
Hear a story?
Time that pops up to the top with the Reverend.
The kind of which?
A time that floats to the top between you two.
Yeah, let me give you back the. Didn't know all that much.
Well, he was one-on-one with you, right?
For some time. I saw him at the Brandeis Folk Festival, and then he stayed with me for a couple of weeks in Chicago one time, and then the next time I saw him, he was marrying. I was in Detroit. We brought him out to marry a couple of friends of mine, Lauren James and Sue Mosier. It was so long ago that they're both dead. 1969. And he came out to, we got him gigs, you know, and then once people heard that he was out in Detroit, they kept calling up and saying, you know, bring us Reverend Davis, we'll give him $250, you know, a lot of money back then. So a lot of us sat down, you know, we'd be sitting around and playing, showing off for him and stuff. I don't know if you know about blind people, but they tend to catnap. I mean, they just, you know, it's like narcolepsy. He had a cigar in his face, you know? And we're all playing and rooting and carrying on, and he goes, like this. And the tip of the cigar went into the binding on his KG-100, and it started to burn it up. And it stank, holy high heaven. And you can see the burn. You can see the burn when you go to the Rock Hall in Cleveland. You know, because they got Miss Gibson is on display there. It's still got the burn.
Oh man.
Davis, what he played and how he played, you can think of that as his opinion of how music should sound. One time I ran a festival in Cohen, North Carolina, and one of the janitors from the school, old Scots-Irish guy, you know, I hear you're going to run this festival. You ought to get my cousin. He's a good musician. He plays it right. A very telling statement. He's a good musician. He plays it right. Not a good fiddler. He's a good musician. And he plays it right. He plays it according to what I understand to be good. Meets my standard. Reverend Davis played it right. Everybody's standards. Meets Segovia standards. You know, meet Julian Bream standards. Meet Visconti standards. Everybody knew the man could hit. He had some authority. His first gig, actual gig, for which he got paid a contracted amount of money, occurred in 1957. It was all streets and churches before that. And at that, the other guys on the street said, we called him Granddad. He could play 500 notes to your two. He never let us string me still.
So how old was he in 57 at his first gig?
In 1957, he was 61 years old.
Wow.
He lived another 11 years. Died in 1972. Achieving in 1963, his version of Samson was the one ascribed to by Peter, Paul, and Mary. So there was a big royalty check, and Manny Greenhill, his manager, arranged for those royalties to be paid in advance. Thank you very much. He went and bought a house, wrote the check, bought the house. No interest. $90,000. Here you go. Thank you very much. Give me the deed. The lawyers on the other side, the Warner Brothers, let the hand of the check say, Reverend Davis, when did you write this song? I didn't write this song. Audible intake of breath. It came to me in a dream. That's a real story about Reverend Davis.
Did he have kids?
Did he have kids? Annie had some kids who were kind of no account, and those kids had kids. My friend John Hatton was out busking one day in New York City, and he was playing a 6-string banjo. An African-American kid comes waltzing up and says, I know what that is, and the kid's like 10 years old. So what's a 10-year-old African-American kid doing, knowing what a 6-string banjo is? Gets all excited. Oh, you did? You do? Says, yeah, that's a 6-string banjo. My grandfather's got one. Your grandfather? Who's your grandfather? Oh, you probably know who he is. His name is Reverend Gary Davis. Yeah, I know who he is. Yeah, and that 6-string banjo? We hate it! That 6-string banjo was for sale at Bernunzio's in Rochester. Roy Bookbinder inherited it, and he put it up for sale. Anybody has a spare $26,000, it's yours. I think he doesn't really want to sell it, Roy. I think he wants to keep it. That's why he put a price on it. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
If anybody wants some
Thanks.
CDs, I got the 5 titles out in the car.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, okay, sure.
What do you recommend for the finger picks?
I like the Acries, but most of the time I make do with Dunlop 025s,
Okay, yeah.
025 silvers,
You just have what fingers do you have on? Just the front
thumb
two,
pick,
I think?
2-finger pick.
Okay. The metal one on the thumb too.
Yeah. I'll be right back.
Oh, I just realized some of you guys probably know Matthew Taylor. Matt Taylor.
Matt Taylor, he sounds familiar.
Banjo.
Yeah, he plays.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just played the festival over the last weekend, right?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
Not
okay.
last week, no.
Thank you.
He hasn't been touring for a while because he had.
Anyway, this is his dad. That's all.
Oh,
Some of you guys
nice.
might know him.
Nice.
Yeah.
You look familiar.
You played at Joe's with
Marty, I'm gonna get going because I've got some stuff to do.
well, first of all, you played with a swing band, don't you?
Yeah.
And you know
Some of it will stick.
That's
Blind
why.
Boy Saxon.
Yeah, I do.
Here's what I learned.
Cool.
I learned that
Cool.
the last time I ever
What's your name?
Steve.
Steve.
Yeah.
Jeffrey.
My
Nice to
voice
meet
had
you.
covered
Matt
up the
Taylor.
fact that I
Actually,
actually was a
that's
bad player.
You've got such a great voice.
Yeah. He played his.
Bye, everybody.
He played
It's
at the
nice
Outpost
meeting
a lot.
y'all.
Pleasure meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, he played a lot of venues. Played with Dave.
Oh, cool.
Oh, sorry.
That was a lot.
Yeah, so by the way, Geron's
It's
coming
not
to
fair.
town. I think it's the first week
June, the Santa
June.
Barbara Festival, right?
Yeah, and then he'll be down. I think he'll be around for a week or so.
Cool.
Thanks.
That's good.
I'm leaving for New Orleans.
Really?
Yeah.
What are you doing in New Orleans?
The Trad Jazz Camp tour. And
Yeah?
then Boston for a little while with some guys from Colorado.
Nice,
So
dude.
about 9 days.
What's the band from Colorado?
Joe Smith and the Spicy Pickles Jazz Band. There's some dancer group, but they said, hey, we've got a house. I'm like, oh, I can stay for free for a few days.
Nice.
Yeah.
You must be hot right now. It's gonna be hot.
You do look familiar. I don't know, maybe I've seen you around Joe's as well.
Yeah, that's what I've been to
That's
Joe's a few
man.
times. Yeah.
Awesome.
Matt Taylor.
Have fun,
He
man.
goes back. He's
You've been having too much fun.
No,
yeah.
he
Yeah, then
no,
you have all the fun.
he
Yeah, I know.
his son
I wanna- I'm going back
singer
in
and composer on
Yeah.
guitar.
Like,
So.
hopefully a
okay.
whole month. I'm trying to go for
I've got
I
this
gotta
guy.
take up the collection.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that. I saw you wearing.
It was so awesome
Yeah.
to see you on
He's
stage
very
at
well.
DDA. But walking in, like,
Yeah, that
I'm
was
having
that
a
was
hard
like-
time
that was
getting,
nice.
getting the hang of those.
Thank God I knew that guy.
Try that out if you don't mind.
No, for
Bass
sure.
player? Cool.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
yeah.
Hey, thanks for coming over.
Yeah.
Listen, I like hearing you and Andy play the Stevie. And you guys gonna be over be playing at Joe's again on Monday nights? Or?
I won't be playing there. Well, we play there once a month. We'll be how long is
What
it?
kind of
Right. Sure, I got it from the caves.
I'm not
Pro-
quite sure how long
propane.
he's gonna stay.
Propane?
But he'll be,
But yeah,
he'll be
so
for a few more days. By
you
the
were-
end of possible.
I'm trying. I'm
Yeah,
still
you
trying.
want me to
It's-
confirm
it's-
that,
it's-
so-
Yeah, especially
It's tougher now than it was a few
Yeah, but
years
like,
ago.
how do you have it?
I sometimes get people booked for a
Okay.
completely different genre of music. And,
Yeah.
So, you know.
and that sometimes
Okay.
works, but I also have
Son of a gun.
other
Swing it all
people
upside down
other
your neck.
parties to help with some.
Where do you go?
So,
I booked people.
Oh, wait a minute. That doesn't get put that on black page for it.
James Collins.
Oh, okay.
Another Collins.
yeah,
Actually,
just like
yeah.
that. Okay, so I'm doing
Yeah.
this.
And I've also gotten people
Okay.
Wait a minute.
help
Wait, no.
arrange
Wait a minute.
to the
So I'm
side.
all turned around.
various
It's
organizations.
Yeah, get on this side.
It's like that.
Oh, okay. It's just.
Yeah. Just
So-
like that.
Yeah, I mean,
meet you there to come.
Yeah.
if,
On the
uh,
side.
Just because you're just.
I'm trying. I don't
I
know
think you got a lot of.
how it'll work out because Jerron has his own agent now. And
Yeah.
he's,
Okay.
but I know this guy
Yeah, I would go
goes
with
by the
Jerron,
name
so-
Cadillac
6
Zach,
months
who
down the road.
runs a blues show every Monday night on Ventura Boulevard. At this
I don't
He has, and he never does
to get to
blues, but he makes an exception for
Yeah.
And all of this, so I let him know that Jerron was going back. He said, "See if you can get him what
Thank you.
what dates
Sure.
that we can get
That was maddening.
back there."
So you
I'll check into that.
Get some stuff. That's
Although
So you started playing with your
I think his
Deshabille
people working
fingers,
for him
right?
get him some
You've been doing that all year.
Yeah, just tapering in a very scattershot fashion. It's yeah, little by little.
Well, I know
Yeah,
that.
life always kind of gets in the way. You really want to put more time into it, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even know he was coming.
One thing that Davis said, I think, was he woke up
So that was the
7
first
in the morning. It started at 7 in the
Thanks for
morning
telling me
practice.
about
And go for a couple
Yeah,
hours,
August.
you know.
He said
Yeah,
he'll be
each
coming
day.
around in August.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Mark Rose is not coming
yeah.
out
I don't have time to
August.
do that either, but it's just
Oh, yeah, Minnesota.
Nice.
Yeah, you'll be in cooler but more humid weather, and we'll probably be. I'm expecting a really bad summer this year.
Here, just dry and hot.
So you can hang around, can't you?
Actually, I have to admit, I got a million essays to grade. Stuff.
I just Sabine
You
and
have
I both
essays to
turned them
grade?
in.
Essays to grade.
Sabine and
lucky
I
you.
both turned them in.
Each and every one an original thought.
Each and every one. Oh, sorry to hear that. But, sorry to hear that you
I
can't
won't
hang out.
Yeah, I like hanging out.
I'm not. I don't have
Oh, another
any
time when the dust
You don't have
settles.
any
then
what?
wheels.
You don't have any wheels.
Yeah, I don't got a
How did you get here?
Plus, I live like
Wow.
I live on Van Owen straight down. so
Oh, that's not sick. That's
it
not
wasn't
too
bad at all.
bad.
Yeah, it was pretty nice actually. Is that I needed.
You don't mind
that.
splashing up, I can run you.
No, it's okay. I actually somebody's picking me up.
Oh,
So,
okay.
I was
Reseda?
gonna head back that way. I'd drive.
What's
In
that?
Reseda?
Yeah, I'm in Reseda. Yeah, right off of Van Owen and Yolanda, like around.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, that isn't that bad. It's one of the few not too bad bus rides from here to there.
there's some
in LA.
awful ones.
LA is not a good public
but,
transportation.
yeah, that's true.
town.
Yeah, so yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get somebody's picking me up, and
I'm taking up the
have
collection.
to,
You look like
Yeah.
you're when you play.
and then I'm gonna head out
Okay, if you're
over
gonna be
there.
there earlier.
Well,
Is that
all
like,
right.
yeah, no, it's
Well, I see.
like 10:30.
Really, dude? I'm gonna leave at that.
The more you don't need these
So I'm like
to
chilling.
play.
I'm chilling.
You don't need any of the muscles in the back of your arm to play.
It all depends,
You know,
actually.
like
Maybe if I can get
So just let the fingers do the work. This doesn't. This can
I'll
just.
hang out.
Yeah, you don't want it to be floppy, but you also don't want it to
She's
be
out.
rigid.
So that's like 2, so I'll probably hang out
Okay.
if she picks me
You
up.
know, I'll tell you one thing. One thing I picked up from you
What are you
is
gonna- you gonna
I
hang out
like the
for a
hand
little?
position, but
Yeah, I'm waiting.
how
I'm
much
gonna
you
get some
actually
sugar
use
at
the
5:30.
Yeah.
because I tend to have my arm rigid and
The note is the result of the interaction of your thumbnail or your pick against the string. But it's traveling at some speed through some shape. Trajectory. It's got a trajectory.
It'll be
So it
really tough
doesn't
listening to
matter
Steve.
whether the thumb motion, when you're using your thumb, it doesn't come from here. It comes from here. It comes from the radius. A small movement at the radius ramifies into a much larger movement at the tip of the thumb. Okay? So you can get all the way down the strings with a very small movement right here. If you have to move more than that, it's best to do it with your arm.
At what point did you study this? That's another fascinating thing about you. It's like Michelangelo
apart a
looking at
torch.
dead bodies, right?
I was
Or
in
Leonardo,
graduate. I figured all this out by having
I
to
was
teach
watching a
it.
ukulele.
You did?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and when I was in anthropology at Kent State in grad school, and it came time for me to take anatomy. And so when I studied anatomy, I had names for everything that I already did. So I was just able to apply the names.
Nice. Oh wow.
Me and 3 other guys took apart a corpse. We named her Gertrude. There wasn't much left of her when we got done with it. The good thing she was already dead.
Was Robert one of the 3 in that endeavor?
Oh no! He was way ahead of me. He was 2 or 3 years ahead of me in grad school, and he was. Robert is an actual scientist who actually knows what the hell he's doing.
I know.
I'm not. I just so went through the program because I could. And I helped Robert. I was gonna do a master's thesis that involved teeth, so I collected all of these peanut butter jars to clean them out. I had all these teeth. They're sitting in formalin solution or something.
Here's the guy that when you walk down the street near campus at night and you suddenly a club hit you in the mouth.
Yeah.
You know why?
No. And I
Just
So,
I
so,
collected
so,
them
wait a
from my
second.
dentist, Dr. Mastriani. They saved them for me.
So back up now. How did you happen to want to do your
Next
master's
week is on.
teeth?
Well, I was in
Is next
anthropology.
week on?
Teeth are very important in anthropology.
no, this is the one. This is the
I
one.
know
on
the
the
embryology of teeth.
unfortunately.
I know how the roots
Tongue-
form. I
tongue
know
in
what they're
cheek,
made out of. I know
Yeah,
what
Jesse,
animals
it's
they
a
live
nice
in.
song.
They have not
Don't
been
listen.
down.
How they're conformed in most animals.
This is a rare
Oh.
event for Andy to come to LA.
Right.
Yeah.
Where do you call home?
Memphis.
Oh, okay. We'll have to come out your way.
Come for the IDC. But anyway, what I actually wrote my master's thesis on was the thumbs of bluesmen and how they use them.
Man.
I'm a writer. You know where I've sold the most books? Knoxville.
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 That's,
who'd have thought?
that's where his fan base is.
That's
as
my
a
fan base
writer.
in Knoxville. I don't know why.
What kind of books do you write?
But fiction, yeah,
Fiction.
story, yeah. None of them are set in the South.
Short
For
stories?
some reason, not.
No.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a collection of short stories that's done well there. He goes there and does readings, and there's a crowd there, and women throw